Have you ever felt like something was off but you couldn't prove it? Like the energy changed, the conversations felt different, and deep down your gut was trying to tell you something your mind wasn't ready to accept? Because here's the truth, when someone is being unfaithful, they rarely confess. But their behavior? It always leaves clues. And today we're breaking down 4 psychological signs that often show up when a woman is cheating, signals most men miss until it's too late. Now, before we begin, let's be clear about one thing. This video isn't about blaming or judging women. It's about understanding human behavior, because cheating isn't just about attraction. It's about emotional shifts, internal conflict, and hidden patterns. And those patterns tend to repeat. So if you've ever questioned someone's loyalty, or you simply want to understand relationships on a deeper level, pay close attention, because sign number 3, almost nobody notices it. Sign number 1, sudden emotional distance that doesn't make sense. Let's start with something subtle but powerful: emotional distance. Now, every relationship goes through phases. People get busy, life gets stressful, but this feels different. She used to laugh at your jokes, now she barely reacts. She used to open up about her day, now everything is fine. Short answers, less eye contact, less presence. And here's the key: it's not just that she's distant, it's that she doesn't seem to care that she's distant. That's where the psychology kicks in. When someone becomes emotionally invested elsewhere, their brain starts to detach from their current partner as a way to reduce guilt. It's called emotional displacement. Think about it. You can't fully give your energy to 2 people at the same time, so something has to give. And often, it's you. But here's a question for you. Is she just stressed, or has she stopped choosing to connect with you? Because those are 2 very different things. Sign number 2, her schedule becomes mysterious. Now this one is tricky, because on the surface, it looks normal. She's busy, working late, going out more, taking calls in private. Individually, these things mean nothing. But together, they start to form a pattern, and patterns tell stories. Suddenly, her routine doesn't add up. Plans change last minute. Details become vague. You ask simple questions and get complicated answers. Or worse, you get defensive ones. Why are you asking so much? Don't you trust me? Let me flip that for a second. When someone is honest, they don't feel threatened by simple questions. But when someone is hiding something, even small questions can feel like interrogation, because now they have something to protect. And here's where it gets deeper. The human brain is not great at maintaining lies over time. So what happens? Inconsistencies, tiny cracks in the story. And those cracks are where the truth lives. Sign number 3, she becomes overly protective of her phone. Now this is the one most people ignore until it's obvious. Her phone, it used to sit face up, unlocked, relaxed, no tension. Now, it's always flipped over, always on silent, always within reach. And suddenly, privacy becomes a priority. Now let's be fair, everyone deserves privacy. But there's a difference between privacy and secrecy. Privacy says, I'm allowed my space. Secrecy says, I have something to hide. And your instincts can feel that difference. Maybe she steps out to take calls. Maybe she smiles at texts, but won't say from who. Maybe she changes passwords or gets nervous when you're nearby. And here's the psychological layer. When someone is engaging in behavior they know is wrong, they become hyper-aware of being exposed. That awareness changes how they act. Not just with you, but with everything. So ask yourself, is she protecting her peace or protecting a secret? Because the behavior may look similar, but the intention, completely different. Sign number 4, sudden change in appearance and habits. Now this one can be confusing, because self-improvement is a good thing, right? Working out, dressing better, taking care of yourself. That's normal. But here's the difference. Who is she doing it for? When the change is consistent and she shares it with you, that's growth. But when the change feels sudden, intense, and disconnected from you, that's a signal. Maybe she's putting in more effort to go out, but less effort when she's with you. Maybe she's trying new styles, new routines, but you're not part of that world anymore. And here's the psychological truth. When someone is emotionally invested in someone new, they naturally want to impress that person. It's not always conscious. It just happens, because attraction fuels effort. So if you notice a shift in where her effort is going, pay attention, because effort is never random, Now, let me ask you something. Have you ever ignored a red flag because you didn't want to believe it? Because sometimes the hardest truth isn't what we see, it's what we choose not to see. And what we're about to talk about next might change how you look at relationships forever. Build emotional psychological intensity. Here's the deeper layer most people miss. Cheating doesn't start with action. It starts with disconnection, emotional disconnection, mental distance, a slow shift in priorities. And by the time the physical behavior happens, the relationship has already been changing for a while. That's why these signs matter. Because they don't just tell you what's happening, they tell you what's already happened inside her mind. But here's where it gets real. Not every sign means cheating. Let's be honest about that. Sometimes people change. Sometimes relationships go through rough phases. Sometimes communication breaks down. So this isn't about jumping to conclusions. It's about awareness. Because awareness gives you power. Power to ask better questions. Power to notice patterns. Power to protect your emotional well-being. And most importantly, power to face the truth, even when it's uncomfortable. Because ignoring it doesn't make it go away. Conclusion? So let's bring it all together. A woman who is cheating often shows these 4 signs. Emotional distance that feels different, a schedule that doesn't quite add up, unusual secrecy around her phone, and sudden changes in effort and appearance. Individually, they might mean nothing, but together, they tell a story, and that story is something you shouldn't ignore. But remember, this isn't about fear. It's about clarity, because the strongest position you can be in is one where you see things as they are, not as you hope they are. Call to action. If this opened your eyes even a little, make sure you subscribe, because we break down human behavior, attraction, and psychology in a way that actually makes sense. And I want to hear from you. Which of these signs have you noticed before? Or is there something you've experienced that didn't make sense at the time, but now does? Drop it in the comments, because sometimes the conversation helps you see what you couldn't see alone. And until next time, trust your instincts, but always back them with awareness.